Hello and welcome to another episode of Fully Charged. Now here's some corrections to my corrections. In the last news update, I laid the blame for the dash to diesel and the catastrophic impact that's had on the air we breathe on Gordon Brown's shoulders. It's not entirely fair, as it now turns out that scientists warned the government of Margaret Thatcher back in 1993 of the dangers, which that government promptly ignored, of course. Add to that the recent revelations that the mop-haired buffoon we all love, yes, Boris Trumpy Johnson, kind of buried a 2010 report on air quality in 433 schools in London. Why? Because it didn't look good. All the schools were in poor areas of London and the air quality was catastrophically toxic. And as any proper posh boy like Boris knows, poor people don't count. It was a report he commissioned, but he's trustworthy and we should always listen to him. He's not at all focused on his career, he's got our best interests at heart. Although it didn't look good for a mayor who prattled on and on about the need to clean up London's air, but he was too busy playing politics, changing his mind and wangling about becoming our next Prime Minister. Oops, I mean supporting the Brexit campaign. Enough said, no more politics, moving on. I also said in the previous news update that for the time being there was no real viable alternative to diesel for large trucks, etc. Wrong! Check out this big rig. This is the 2,000 horsepower Nikola 1, a hybrid electric truck with a 1,900 kilometre range coming from a gas turbine and a 320 kilowatt hour battery. It's got 6-wheel drive and torque vectoring. It's got a gas turbine that powers the batteries that drive the motors, and because of all these efficiencies, it runs at half the cost per kilometre of a diesel truck of similar size. Due to the enormous power of the motors, it can climb hills at the same speed as going along the flat, and when descending hills, it uses regenerative braking, feeding the power back into the monster battery and reducing brake wear. Yeah, baby, I don't want a Tesla Model 3, I want a Nikola 1.
This here's the hybrid electric rubber duck. 10-4 in that good buddy. The bear's in the air, I'm putting the hammer down. Looks like we got us an electric convoy.
You may need to be of a certain age to get that reference, but just in case, Google Convoy Movie 1978. It is genuinely tragic. Finally, a bit of spurious speculation. Apple have just invested $1 billion in a Chinese taxi firm.
You what?
Well, okay, Didi is more like Uber or Halo. It's an app, a service that lets you order a taxi. Big deal. Why sink $1 billion into that? Then add to this snippet of news the fact that Apple spent $3 billion on R&D in 2013, but in 2015 they spent $10 billion. So what are they spending $10 billion researching? A new watch. Of course, it's a new watch. Or, just possibly, it's because they are serious about entering the personal transportation arena. Notice I didn't say car. No, the clever folks who know about this stuff are guessing that Apple is thinking longer term. They're not going to make an Apple car that auto journalists can call a Tesla killer. They're going to make something far more advanced, like a self-driving electric car service that you order from your iPhone. Surely not. That would be insane. That would mean they could keep even more people trapped inside a walled garden of Apple fanboy fascism. Because let's face it, discussing brand fascism is a lot less contentious than discussing real-world fascism that's becoming increasingly popular in the USA and Europe. Well, that's enough for now, but before I go, here's some more names of amazing patrons who've supported Fully Charged on Patreon at $10 or more a month. Thank you so much, all of you. Neil Birchinall, Darren Fruins, lovely Darren, Thibaut, Matt Town, Jay Shorey, Alex Sambruna, MT, Vladdy Ivanov, Ben, just Ben, he's too cool to have a second name, Stephen Seagrave and Rob Crossland. Thank you very much indeed, and if you have been, thank you for watching.